Alright, so welcome to Photoshop, and I have this business card. I'll make it bigger so we can see it. And the trick here is I'm laying this out and I'm trying to center this text on this card. And so obviously if you just grab something in Photoshop and move it, you'll see in the center we've got a vertical pink line, meaning that it's centered. Now I move it and it's gone. And now I've kind of got the crisscross, and that means that that object or whatever it is exactly centered. But to me it looks like it's a little bit low. So what I'm going to do is go into and use guidelines. So the first thing that I'm going to want to use is make sure my rulers are up. So Command R is going to bring rulers. If they're not there, Command R brings your rulers up. So then we're going to go into View, and down here we're going to go to New Guide. But what we're going to put in here, instead of a specific position, I'm going to actually put 50%. And the reason I'm going to put 50% is it's going to put it exactly in the center. I don't have to, if you had like a weird measurement like 2.67, you don't have to sit there and do the math to figure it out. Just 50%, and there's our guideline exactly in the center. So I'm going to go back up to View, and I will do one the other way just so you can see it. So we'll switch this to vertical. We'll make this 50%. Hit OK. And now we can see we have this centered. And you can still see this is much lower than this. So even though it's centered the object, it's not perfect. It's not where I want it. There's more space up here and less down here. So the way to actually just get a guideline out and drag it is to go up here in the rulers, and I'm just going to click and hold and then drag down. So we're going to click and hold and drag down, and you'll notice right here we've got about, that's 1/4 of an inch, this is 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go to 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to drag this down, and we can see right there. Don't have my glasses on, but that looks like 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come back down here. I'm going to do the same thing. We'll put another guide at 1/4 of an inch. And you can see the top of the logo now is on this guideline, but this one is way below. So it's showing me that even though it was centered, it's not exactly where we want. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and nudge this up until I get it basically where I want. And so I'm just trying to get this distance and this distance to be basically about the same. And you could do this left and right however you want. Now, if you were to send this to a printer, these blue guidelines do not print. And the quick way to get rid of them if they drive you nuts is to hit Command semicolon, and they will disappear. And then if you want them back, Command semicolon, and they're back. So hopefully that's helpful on how to lay out something using guidelines in Adobe Photoshop. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those below, and don't forget to subscribe.